this morning.
Plus, this morning, college students and professors at Michigan State University returned to class for the first time since that mass shooting last week.
And breaking news this morning, President Biden made a surprise visit to Kyiv, Ukraine. This week marks 1 year since the Russian invasion. We are live from Washington as we begin on a busy Monday morning.
Live from Chicago's #1 news, ABC7 Eyewitness News at 7 starts streaming now.
All right, everybody, welcome to the hour. Good to be with you. I'm Terrell Brown.
And I'm Val Warner. On this February 20th, it is President's Day.
Roz is not with us this morning. She's been out at the auto show all morning long.
But take a look at this shot right here. 30 degrees outside. Yesterday was fabulous.
Yeah, it was.
Today, will we get a repeat, Tracy?
Almost. We'll keep it dry. We'll see a mix of clouds and sun. Yesterday, we were into the 50s. Today, we'll top out in the 40s. Right now, we're at 29 degrees currently at O'Hare and Valparaiso. 28 degrees, that temperature currently in Kankakee. We get 26 in Sycamore, Aurora, 28 degrees right now in Naperville, 27 right now in Wilmington, 30 in Munster and Hebron, and 30 degrees in Chesterton. Today, like I said, we're on our way up into the 40s around here today. A mix of clouds and sun. Overnight lows tonight will be dropping back into the 20s yet again. And then tomorrow, we do start off clear and bright, but increase the clouds as we go later in the day. We'll have your complete forecast and that 7-day coming up in my next report. Val and Terrell.
All right, Tracy, thanks. Let's check traffic this morning. Metro Union Pacific West Line train number 14 was involved in a pedestrian incident near Melrose Park, that station out there. So inbound and outbound train traffic has been stopped right now and is until further notice. Looking at the big picture this morning, very few delays out there on the roads this holiday Monday. There is a crash northbound DuSable Lakeshore Drive at the Oak Street Beach curve. It is blocking one lane. And then a rolled over semi in Indiana southbound I-65 past US 231 that's blocking the right lane. Live picture right now from Chopper and that mail all over the ground. And Val, you mentioned earlier the people who are likely going to be looking for their packages.
Yeah.
Tough situation out there.
Right.
A long cleanup. So we'll keep you posted on what we know.
And also breaking overnight, a gunman opens fire on a vehicle with 4 children inside. We know that 2 adults died. The car was on I-57 when gunfire rang out near 115th Street late last night.
Yeah, at least 1 child was rushed to Comer Children's Hospital. Jessica D'Onofrio is there live with what we know. And an awful situation, Jess.
It really is, Val and Terrell. Illinois State Police confirming that 3 people are dead, including a 2-year-old girl and a 14-year-old boy. A 19-year-old adult male was also killed. And we also know that police helped get one of the youngest victims here to Comer Children's Hospital.
We got a male black kid on the flank side. We got a baby here. We're going to put her in the back of the squad car.
All right, 62 Charlie, you going to Comer?
62 Charlie, that's Comer.
Authorities tell us shots were fired at around 10:30 last night in the northbound lanes of I-57 near 115th Street. Illinois State Police tell us there were 6 people inside a white SUV, including the 3 who died. 3 other victims are hospitalized in serious but stable condition, according to state troopers. They include a 13-year-old boy, a 14-year-old boy, and a female adult. According to authorities, the female driver was able to get off of I-57 at 111th and Hamlet, where you could see the bullet-riddled vehicle. A local pastor who came out to the scene and the hospital spoke about this horrific shooting.
A Sunday night, crime has been a little down, but tonight it was just tragic. Children shot, possibly more than one. Police officers luckily were on hand, took the child to the hospital.
Meanwhile, state police have not released any description of a suspect or a vehicle. There's also no word on what led up to the shooting. Again, 2 children, one as young as 2 years old, are dead, and 1 adult is dead. Troopers still investigating this morning, and this story is still developing, and we will bring you updates as we get them. Val and Terrell, back to you.
All right, Jessica D'Onofrio. Jess, thank you. This was also breaking overnight. A driver was killed. She crashed into the front porch of a house on Chicago's northwest side. A 30-year-old woman speeding when she lost control near Bryn Mawr and Nagel in the Norwood Park neighborhood. The woman who lives there says that she was watching TV and awake at the time and heard and felt that impact.
I heard a big crash, and I looked outside and saw a car inside my porch. You could tell somebody ran into the house, but I wasn't sure which part of it. There's a lot of damage to the porch, but I'm okay.
The driver was rushed to the hospital and later died there. So far, she has not been identified. Classes at Michigan State will continue today. It's been a week since a gunman opened fire on the campus and killed 3 students and hurt 5 others. Diane Patthew is here this morning with more on how the university is trying to heal. Diane.
And Terrell, students and their parents preparing for what will be a very emotional day on campus as students make their way there for the first time since that shooting. MSU leaders laid out their plan, ensuring students, faculty, and staff will have plenty of support. The university said will offer free counseling as well as academic accommodations for those who need it. Sophomore Ellie DeZonis from Northbrook, she doesn't have class until Thursday, but is coming back early to be with her classmates.
Everyone who's on campus that night understands what everyone else went through, and it's just nice to know that I'm not the only one feeling the way that I do.
Berkey Hall and the MSU Student Union, where the shootings occurred, will be closed for the rest of the semester. Tomorrow, students will hold another vigil to honor the 3 students killed, as well as a town hall meeting so students can speak with administrators on how best to move forward. Val and Terrell?
All right, Diane, thank you. Now to the war in Ukraine. This morning, President Biden making a high-risk and unannounced trip to Kyiv, the capital of Ukraine.
Yeah, this is before the 1-year anniversary of the war with Russia. Biden reiterated unwavering support for Ukraine while Russia continues attacking the eastern region.
And this visit coming amid new warnings from the U.S. for China not to provide any weapons and ammunition to Russia for their war.
ABC's M. Nguyen is live in Washington with more this morning, M.
Terrell, Val, good morning. Yeah, President Biden's bold visit to a Ukrainian capital that has been under threat of missile attacks signals a significant and continued commitment from the U.S. President Zelensky saying today, when the war started just about a year ago, the first call of support was from the White House.
Breaking this morning, President Biden wrapping up an unannounced trip to Kyiv, the capital of Ukraine. Biden meeting with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and First Lady Olena in a display of strong American support for Ukraine just 4 days ahead of that 1-year anniversary of Russia's invasion of the country.
1 year later, Kyiv stands, and Ukraine stands. Democracy stands.
Biden saying it's critical there is no doubt the U.S. will stand behind Ukraine, announcing a new $500 million aid package to the country. The president's high-risk trip coming amid a new stark warning to China.
We have information that gives us concern that they are considering providing lethal support to Russia in the war against Ukraine.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken meeting with his Chinese counterpart this weekend.
It was important for me to share very clearly with Wang Yi that this would be a serious problem.
Senator Lindsey Graham also cautioning Beijing not to cross the line, calling it the most catastrophic thing that could happen to U.S.-China relations. This as Ukraine presses for more weapons from the West, including F-16 fighter jets. Graham calling on the U.S. to hand them over and start training Ukrainian pilots, though it could represent a major escalation of U.S. support in the war.
Don't worry about provoking Putin. Let's make sure we beat Putin in Ukraine.
In the eastern city of Bakhmut, an area that has seen months of brutal Russian attacks, Ukrainian defenses resisting Russian forces, which have been weakening due to equipment shortages. Ukrainian President Zelensky saying his military is already preparing for the next counterattack in the western part of the Donetsk province.
President Biden's visit to Kyiv was shrouded in secrecy. He is expected to travel to Poland next to meet with the Polish president and then deliver remarks condemning Russia's war in Ukraine. Val, Terrell.
All right, and Wynn in Washington this morning. Em, thank you so much. Chicago is breaking its records for early voting and vote by mail in municipal elections. Voters have cast more than 100,000 ballots so far for the February 28th election. Starting today, the voting supersite on the street and the board offices will stay open an extra hour on weekdays until 7 p.m.
Some early voting sites could open late today because of some changes to ballots. In Chicago's 28th Ward, people can now vote for Sean Walker or longtime Alderman Jason Irvin. The Illinois Appellate Court ordered Walker be placed back on the ballot. The court also removed 2 other candidates. The West Side Ward covers parts of Austin, East Garfield Park, West Garfield Park, North Lawndale, Little Village, and West Loop.
Today, the Chicago History Museum will commemorate President's Day with several activities. They include an Oval Office interactive exhibit to teach families about the president's official workspace. Today's event runs from 11 in the morning until 3 o'clock this afternoon.
And today marks the final day of the 2023 Chicago Auto Show, and it's Family Day. The show is open from 10 a.m. until 8 p.m. I mean, every day's Family Day, but today's extra family.
There it is, especially on a holiday Monday.
Oh, you gotta imagine the load in and load out of all those cars in two big
gosh.
halls. I think about that like when they're setting up and when they have to leave.
Yeah.
What a massive undertaking.
That's crazy. And then not just that, but all the sets that were built. It's crazy.
All right, you're live in local news. Just getting started as we stream out loud this morning.
Yeah, coming up, Tracy's got your AccuWeather forecast. Some sun and clouds with cooler weather today. But Tracy is tracking the potential for snow a little bit later on this week. That's coming up next.
A major allergen found in some common foods.
Her face started to swell up. She got really bad rash, hives.
Consumers are angry with how some fast food chains are handling the new law. Coming up next.
Well, good morning to you. We are starting off this day with a mix of clouds and some sun. Overall, a cooler day today than yesterday was. And tomorrow will be a colder day than today. But Wednesday is the day we're really watching very closely because Wednesday may present us with a wintry mix, possibly even some heavy rain. Could be some significant icing possibilities, especially the farther north you go. And then we'll be drying out for Thursday. Thursday is looking really windy. So here we go into Wednesday, and Wednesday morning's commute will start off just fine. It's the tail end that could start to get some impact from this wintry mix, but throughout the day on Wednesday, things are going to become more and more challenging, and I think the afternoon evening rush on Wednesday is going to be exceptionally challenging, not so much with snow, but with rain, potentially heavy rain, and a wintry mix coming our way. Snow, you talk about snow, and they are looking for heavy snow across portions of Wisconsin into Minnesota. Even Milwaukee could end up with just shy of a foot of snow Wednesday into early Thursday. Snow isn't what we really have in the forecast. Again, Wednesday, it's kind of a messy mix coming our way. The weekend, though, it doesn't look bad at all. Val and Terrell.
All right, Tracy, taking a look at some traffic right now. Metro Union Pacific West Line inbound train number 14 remains stopped. This is in Melrose Park due to an earlier pedestrian incident. All of the inbound and outbound train traffic is stopped. You are encouraged to use BNSF or the Milwaukee West Line train as an alternate way to get around. Systems map basically showing only a few delays on the roads. Nothing major to look at there. Earlier crash on northbound DuSable Lakeshore Drive on the right lane may still be blocked. And it looks like that rolled over semi-truck crash in Indiana we've been telling you about all morning southbound on I-65 just past US 231 in the Crown Point area. Mail truck, right lane blocked, massive cleanup underway. Mail is spilled all over the place. That is still happening as well. Well, a new law to protect people with food allergies may be resulting in unintended consequences. As of January 1st, the FDA recognizes sesame as a major food allergen. That means foods containing sesame must be labeled as such. But some people are upset with how some companies are handling the new law. Our investigative reporter Samantha Chapman joins us with this story this morning.
Gretchen Perez says she discovered her daughter Nora had severe food allergies when she was just an infant.
Her whole neck and face started to have a reaction. We had to seek medical attention. Sesame was an especially challenging one to navigate because companies didn't have to label for sesame.
You may not realize this, but a lot of foods contain sesame, like many breads, cereals, chips, and a lot more. And that's why Perez and her family were relieved when Congress passed the Food Allergy Safety, Treatment, Education, and Research Act, also known as FASTER. The new law adds sesame to the list of major food allergens and requires all food companies that use sesame to label the ingredient on their packaging.
We thought it would make our lives easier and potentially make things safer for kids with food allergies, including Nora. It just kind of hasn't ended up that way.
She says the suppliers of some food companies are adding sesame to products that didn't previously contain sesame. Perez says some of Chick-fil-A's buns now contain sesame. Chick-fil-A telling its customers, quote, "With this industry-wide change, our bread suppliers are unable to prevent cross-contact of sesame due to shared production lines and have therefore reformulated to add a small amount of sesame flour to our white bun and multigrain brioche bun." And Culver's telling customers, quote, "Beginning December 16th, the recipe for our Kaiser buns changed to include a small amount of sesame flour." Perez says her daughter Nora now has fewer options.
The spirit of the law was to make it clearer as to what was in their products and safer for people. And rather than do that, they've kind of taken the easy road out and added sesame.
And I think it's lazy. And I think it's something that we're going to have to start calling out these companies on.
Illinois State Representative Jonathan Carroll has been at the forefront of this issue and fought for federal legislation to protect people who are allergic to sesame, like his daughter, Brooke. So why are food companies adding sesame to their products? Jason Lindy with the Food Allergy Research and Education Organization believes it's an easier, more cost-effective alternative for suppliers.
What they're basically doing is saying, we're not going to clean the line after the sesame products are run. Instead, we're just going to add sesame flour into every single loaf of bread we ever make. And so we don't have to clean the lines.
Linda says this nationwide problem stems from the bakers, but he says the restaurants and food chains owe it to their customers to hold their suppliers accountable.
Previous to the FASTER Act becoming law, the food allergic community had a friend in Chick-fil-A. Our feeling is that, Chick-fil-A is a nationwide brand serving millions of people a month, and that they have the economic clout to have told the bakers, look, we want this product without sesame in it.
Chick-fil-A tells the ABC7 team that it did not want a recipe change, adding that, quote, Chick-fil-A sources bread from multiple suppliers. There are no national sesame-free bread suppliers that can consistently supply Chick-fil-A's bread volume. Customers with a sesame allergy may prefer to order a gluten-free bun, which does not contain a sesame ingredient. Culver's told us they could not participate in this story.
You're making our challenging food journey even more challenging. We already have so many limits and restrictions, and this just seems like another unnecessary one.
The American Baking Association tells the I-Team that baking companies are working with their customers, including restaurants, to transparently disclose any allergen labeling changes to help ensure consumer safety. Now, the FDA says while a company adding sesame and declaring it on their label is not a violation, it would be more difficult for consumers with a sesame allergy to find safe foods to eat, and that is a result the FDA says it does not support. The FDA encourages individuals and parents of sesame allergic children to review all food labels before consumption and avoid foods that contain sesame. Samantha Chapman, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Samantha, still to come this morning, the Field Museum hosts a party and you're invited. A celebration of Africa Hall, that's next. Plus, how CTA and Pace passengers can save money starting today.
Eyewitness News, streaming at 7, continues after a break.
Florida governor and potential candidate for president Ron DeSantis will be in Elmhurst today. He's expected to speak to a gathering of law enforcement officers at an undisclosed location. Last week, Governor J.B. Pritzker criticized DeSantis' planned visit, saying the Republican doesn't fit what Illinois is about. Today's event is not open to the public. Also happening today, CTA and Pace riders can purchase new unlimited ride passes. The passes include 1- and 3-day unlimited rides on both systems. They are intended to make regional transit travel easier, seamless, and less expensive.
Also today, the Field Museum will celebrate the 30th anniversary of Africa Hall. The exhibit opened during the museum's centennial in 1993. During this afternoon's event, museum workers will talk about how Africa Hall was revolutionary for its time and remains relevant. Today's celebration includes the Muntu Dance Theater and other guests as well. It's from 2 until 5 o'clock.
All right now we are going to join our Good Morning America viewers. Tanya Babbage will have a news update on TV in just a bit, and you'll see it here too.
And when we come back, murder mystery. Detectives in California are racing to find who killed a Catholic bishop with 50 years of experience.
Now, an update from ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Good morning. It is 7:23. I'm Tanya Babbage. 3 people are dead, and a 19-year-old man, a 14-year-old boy, and 1-year-old girl are the victims in a shooting on I-57. 3 other people were injured. A short time ago, we learned the name of the little girl, Amara Hall. The 3 people being treated are in serious but stable condition at area hospitals. They include a 13-year-old boy, a 14-year-old boy, and a woman. Their white SUV came under fire at about 10:30 last night in the northbound lanes of I-57 near 115th Street. Illinois State Police say the female driver was able to get off at 111th. Right now, there is no information on what may have led to this shooting. Checking on the roads on this President's Day, you still have a big blockage there. Southbound I-65 past US 231 in Indiana. That right lane remains blocked with an earlier rolled over semi-truck. We were telling you about that a little bit earlier. Loads of mail spilled out in the ditch there. Systems map in general pretty good for this holiday Monday. That earlier crash in the northbound DuSable Lakeshore Drive at Oak Street Beach Curve, that has been cleared. And an update on the Metra incident in Melrose Park involving a pedestrian and inbound train 14. Several trains are canceled because of this incident. Tracy will have your forecast coming up right after the break.
Now's the time for a healthy start. So let's move. Let's rest and recharge. And put our health first. Let's be well. To do that, let's eat well. Breathe deep. Find joy in the little moments. And do what we love with who we love. Together, let's live well. Advocate Aurora Health.
Hello there. Happy Monday to you, President's Day, and good morning. Right now, 29 degrees out at O'Hare, 32 right now. That temperature at Midway and in Gary, 29 in Morris, and 26 degrees, the number out in DeKalb. Today, we are headed back into the 40s, mid to upper 40s, coming our direction here today. Tomorrow, I think it's going to be a colder day with highs in the 30s, but Wednesday is the day we are watching closely for the potential of a wintry mix.
Oh man, but no wintry mix right now. Got some sunshine. It doesn't feel half bad out there.
Have you really been thinking about what we are in right now? Like, we're in
It just
winter.
is crazy, right?
I don't want to jinx it.
I know, but yesterday I was outside in a t-shirt.
Yes.
And I'm like seeing tulips starting to do little funny things already. I'm like, all right, I'll take it. We'll talk about this crazy weather and how much we're loving it with Tracy here in just a little bit. But first, though, I want to get to a wild situation that's going on this morning. The murder of a Catholic bishop in L.A.
Authorities are trying to determine who shot and killed the bishop inside his home and why.
Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray. A prayer vigil was held outside the crime scene in the L.A. suburb of Hacienda Heights, where police say 69-year-old auxiliary bishop David O'Connell was found shot in the chest inside his own house in the middle of the afternoon. O'Connell, a priest and bishop for 45 years, was described as a peacemaker who worked with everyone from immigrants to victims of gang violence. Those who knew him say they're stunned.
He was so soft-spoken. He was a humble soul. He was not the type that would have confrontations with nobody.
The sheriff's department releasing few details, only saying they've ruled out suicide. But so far, no information on possible suspects or motive.
O'Connell was a native of Ireland. His family says that he had a passion for helping people.
What a really sad story.
And a lot of questions.
Right, like
Just
who, why?
What happened? Yeah, and we'll keep you posted.
All right, coming up this morning, a driver loses control. Her car slammed into a porch in the Norwood Park neighborhood. An update along with other top stories coming up next.
Also this morning, a special donor drive is going on right now, how you can be the match that helps a patient get the life-saving marrow transplant they need.
You're watching ABC7 Eyewitness News at 7, streaming live now.
Now at 7:30, taking a look at the morning's top story. State police say a 1-year-old girl and 14-year-old boy are among 3 people killed in a shooting on I-57 late last night. Troopers tell us they were in an SUV when someone started shooting at them near 115th Street. 3 others, including 2 other children, were also hurt. So far, no one is in custody. Classes resumed today at Michigan State University for the first time since last week's mass shooting left 3 students dead. on the East Lansing campus. The buildings where people were shot will remain closed. Tomorrow, students plan to host a vigil honoring the three victims who were killed. President Biden made a surprise visit to Kyiv earlier today. He met with Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky. This week marks 1 year since Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Good morning and welcome back. I'm Val Warner.
And good to be with you. Bottom of the hour over here on the couch. I'm Terrell Brown. Let's go outside, see what's going on this morning. I love the picture every time I see it. Plenty of sunshine,
Yeah.
Tracy. I mean, just it really does give you spring vibes here.
Yeah, and you know what? Like you said, Terrell, we're starting to see some of our bulbs peeping up above ground. I haven't seen anything blooming just yet. A little early for that, but yeah, I saw some snowdrops. 29 degrees right now at O'Hare. Not seeing any snow, however. 32 degrees right now at Midway. 29 degrees Valparaiso. 31 degrees in Joliet and 25 in Aurora. Well, today on our way up into the 40s. Yesterday we were in the 50s. Today 40s. Tomorrow we're going to see those highs only in the 30s. But then Wednesday is the day we are monitoring closely, and I'll tell you more about that in my next report. Val and Terrell.
Okay, thank you so much, Tracy. We want to get to what's happening traffic-wise here. Let's see. Looks like, for the most part, this is a situation we've been dealing with where a mail truck spilled over. There's loads and loads of mail happening, cleanup happening of this mail on southbound I-65 just past US 231. That did have a lane blocked, and we know it's just been one heck of a situation there. The scene of a rolled over semi truck. It was carrying all that mail. It spilled over, and this happened shortly after midnight. Now let's go to Systems Max. Take a look at this, continuing to show pretty light delays on the expressways and the tollways. It is a holiday, so folks are probably at home. We know some schools are out. And then Metra incident in Melrose Park. This is what we're watching as well. Inbound train number 14 involved in a pedestrian incident. Metra is allowing trains to now pass through the area. So that's the update in this situation. But there are still some extensive delays. We know at one point that they were giving them alternate routes.
Want to get to what we're talking about today, and we start with a longtime TV detective who once described himself as Lenny Bruce with a badge has died. Actor and comedian Richard Belzer passed away Sunday in his home. He had dealt with a series of health issues. 78 years old, best known for playing Detective John Munch on the TV show Homicide: Life on the Street, and then later on Law and Order SVU.
And you know I love Law and Order SVU
Oh, yeah?
so much. I mean, his character, I remember when he went off the show, I was like, no, not much. He was so great at his role, but wow.
I know, and he's a guy who started off in comedy, and you wouldn't think that.
I did not know that.
Right?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, especially with the role that he plays. Also didn't know that he was 78 years young. It's a loss, for sure.
All right, now to paying for verification. Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg announced plans to test out a paid monthly subscription service for increased safety online. It's called Meta Verified. Facebook and Instagram users will verify their accounts by submitting their government ID. They'll also get a blue badge on their profiles. It costs $11.99 on the web and $14.99 through a Meta iOS app. The service rolls out in Australia and New Zealand this week. I guess I don't know enough about it.
Well, you already have
know.
to give your ID to get verified anyway. Did you have to do that to get verified?
I don't
remember. I know for Instagram I had to. Well, because I wasn't one of the popular people who could just get
I don't remember.
get verified anyway.
Well, we had a very great social media team with Windy City Live.
Yeah.
So
right.
Ryan and I can't take credit
yeah,
for
that's
that.
Right. You didn't have to.
They
do
were
anything.
the smart ones handling all of that, but I don't remember the process.
Yeah. So for us that aren't famous like Val,
Right.
you had to send in, you had to take a picture of your ID, which was already weird for me because I remember blacking out my address and everything. You got all kinds of details on your ID. And then after that, they get back to you with whether you're verified or not.
Did you get it?
And
you got it,
well, it took 6 or 7 times, and then eventually, and then I felt stupid. I'm like, why am I even doing this? Like, why do I even care enough to be? It's something about that blue check mark.
It is,
right? And so now you can pay for it.
So
and
everybody can get it now.
So everybody can have it, right? Which now makes what I was doing before really stupid.
No,
it's silly, right? It's all silly. It's just, for me, it's all a money grab. It's just a way to make money.
I'm ready to quit it all.
I know.
Honestly,
it's
I'm ready to be done with all
of
social
it.
media. I really am. This is insane.
It's a lot.
It's
a lot to
aggravating.
manage.
It puts me in such a bad mood. Oh, my watch is going off.
Yes, your watch is like, no, Tracy, don't leave us. Show us more pictures of Bailey. I, on the other hand, am not ready to quit. I want to see more pictures of Bailey so we can go hurt. Yes. I think when it's intended, however you want to use it or intended,
Yeah.
you know, and we're all
I'm not
going to
hate on it.
Yeah,
There are things that I love.
I found an amazing recipe. My Instagram friends and Facebook friends happen to send me really good stuff that I don't normally see on my own.
Yeah.
There's a recipe right now that I want to try for salmon because I'm off of the raw, by the way. Today was it. Yeah. So far, but I feel nice and clean. But now I'm just going to go to sensible eating, protein and vegetables. But I want to learn how to make salmon. I am not very good at salmon.
Yeah.
I ruin it every single time.
Salmon with what, though, by the way?
Like
salmon and
asparagus.
Ooh.
Maybe,
okay,
so the recipe I saw had a bit of asparagus, the
Yeah.
salmon, and lemon, sliced lemon on the top of the salmon in the broiler.
That's, yeah. So it's just about cooking the salmon right then, right? You just got to.
That's where I go wrong.
Okay,
Mine's always dry. Always.
Yeah, I've never made salmon in my life.
Do you eat fish?
Shrimp, crab.
Oh, I love crab.
I don't like salmon. I don't like salmon.
Crazy about it, but I get the benefits. I hear about it.
I know. It's real, and things like sardines are really good for you.
I can't do that.
My husband eats them right out of the can.
Out the can? What about on pieces? Oh no, that's anchovies.
Anchovies is what I was thinking. Yeah,
nope,
yeah.
Kisses for you.
You gotta have the mouthwash on deck.
That's right.
See, that's what I want to see. I want to see your husband opening up the can, eating sardines. I want to lay in bed, going to sleep, going, "Oh my God, this is great!" Like,
Yep.
do it again, more.
Hey, before we go, so something that could make us happier.
Okay, a new study found that there's one thing you can do each day to make give yourself a little boost. And the survey says, have at least one solid conversation with someone. Researchers found it helps with stress and anxiety and makes us feel more connected. Those over the study say they identified 7 different types of communication that qualify as a solid conversation. So any of these 7 things should work. Okay, like joking around, catching up with someone, having a deep, meaningful talk, showing care, valuing the other person's opinion, offering sincere compliments, and even just listening. People in the study who had multiple quality conversations a day saw an even bigger boost. Well, I feel like we get half of this just from this couch.
I agree.
So we're already off to a great start to our day.
Yeah. We don't do enough of this, though, because of social media.
Right.
Or
use social media to talk about it. Find something on there, like we just talked about the salmon, and have a meaningful conversation and learn
that's
something.
True. Yeah. You sure
So you just have to use it the right way.
Yeah. There are some conversations, though, that can work your nerves and zap your energy. Been there, too. But yeah, good conversations. Eyewitness News streaming out loud this morning. We'll take a quick break. We're back with more in 90 seconds. This is breaking overnight, and want to get you an update on the woman that was killed. Her car crashed into the front porch of a house on Chicago's northwest side. Police say the 30-year-old was speeding and lost control, hit the wooden porch in the 6300 block of West Bryn Mawr at Norwood Park. A resident in the house says that she was watching TV and she heard and felt that impact. She was not hurt. The driver has not yet been identified.
What a scary situation. Just think you're at home watching TV and then you're a big boom.
Right. And
you look outside.
And then there's a car in your house.
There's a car in your house.
Yeah. Been a lot of sad news this morning.
Yeah, and thank God that was not worse than what it was.
Yeah.
All right, this is not sad news. Actually, this is pretty pleasant news, and the person giving it to us is even more pleasant, Tracy.
Oh, thank you very much. That you know what? That goes back to the conversation we just had about making you happy.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, your delivery and what you're delivering is making us very happy lately.
Well, good. We'll have a more solid conversation about that later. Partly to mostly cloudy skies with us here today. A little cooler than yesterday. Tomorrow will be colder than today. But it is Wednesday. We highlight for a wintry mix and the potential for some heavy rain, too. And I think the farther north you go in our area, especially near the Wisconsin line, significant icing could become an issue. We're drying out here on Thursday, but Thursday looks really windy. Here's Wednesday. So most of Wednesday morning's commute looks okay, but we're going to start to sneak in this wintry mix, kind of the tail end of the morning rush here on Wednesday. I think Wednesday afternoon and evening, we're going to be monitoring very closely for some icy conditions, some rain, maybe some freezing rain. Snow, however, with this system should stay north of us. Now, it could clip areas near the Wisconsin line, as you can see. So that's what we're going to be dealing with here midweek. Terrell and Val.
Alrighty, Tracy, thank you so much. Let's check traffic this morning, and want to tell you about this situation that we've been watching here for a while. Union Pacific West Line, a pedestrian incident in Melrose Park. Earlier, train number 14 was involved in a pedestrian incident. I believe Chopper is over this right now. So trains are once again moving through the area, but really, really slow. Yeah, there it is right there. Commuters should be prepared for a lot of delays out there if you're going to be traveling through that area right now. But a pedestrian incident that we're watching in Melrose Park. Back to the big map here, and decent traffic on the expressways and tollways with only a few delays. There is a situation in Indiana that continues southbound I-65 past 231 in Crown Point. The right lane is blocked. There was an earlier rolled over semi truck that was carrying that load of mail. The mail was spilled into the ditch. Of course, they've got to pick all that up. And so that delay or that area will be busy for some time to come. You have the opportunity to help people in need of bone marrow transplants.
ABC-owned television stations are teaming up with Be The Match to host registry drives for bone marrow donations.
Robin Roberts, of course, is celebrating her 10-year anniversary of returning to GMA after receiving a life-saving transplant.
And Robin talked to reporter Shirlene Alicott from our sister station in New York.
What does 10 years mean to you, Robin?
Okay, Shirlene. You've got... You know, I haven't really taken time because I've been so focused on the 10 years and showing the growth of the treatment and the people who have been impacted by our viewers responding to the call to Be The Match, that I really haven't taken the time until this moment to think about me and what this moment means to me. I am grateful that my mama taught me make your mess your message, and that I have been able to find the meaning behind why this was placed in my path.
You had no idea what that was, and what you were going to embark on. And you didn't have your mom by your side to be there for you like she was for your first
time
health battle.
It was during the course of having the transplant, and there was a very dark moment, and I just wanted to give up. And there was a dear nurse, Jenny, who she was just shaking me, and my eyes were closed, and she was saying my name, but I was hearing my mother's voice. It was Jenny, and when I opened my eyes, I was surprised that it was Jenny because I thought it was going to be my mom. And it was like my mom's spirit, like, I'm still here with you, honey. I know I'm not here physically, but we're going to get through this. And I was able to then, my numbers started to improve. and I was on the road to recovery. But it was very, very difficult.
All that you share, like, it's just like you can't help but be overcome with emotion because it was like a snowball effect in your life.
I want to continue to be an ambassador. I just want to continue to be a messenger. And my platform where I do that may be different, but I'm still going to get that message out of hope and resilience and just one, as my dear friend Pat Summitt said, left foot, right foot, breathe. Just keep moving and keep believing.
Amen.
I love that. Left foot, right foot, breathe.
Yeah.
Wow. See, like I know the whole turn your mess into your message, but left foot, right foot, breathe from Pat Summitt.
Right?
That's a good one.
Yeah,
that's one
really
to live
one.
by.
Yeah, just keep it moving. ABC7, our sister stations, Good Morning America, and Be the Match are teaming up for the One Match Second Chance campaign. You can scan the QR code on the screen for more information or head to our website or news app. And tune in this coming Tuesday for a full day of coverage on GMA, marking Robin Roberts' 10-year anniversary, returning to the show after her successful bone marrow transplant.
I remember watching all of that.
It's
the fact that it's been 10 years.
It's wild, right?
Right.
Boy, she keeps on keeping on.
Yeah.
We're back in 90 seconds.
Giants on one show.
What is happening?
I don't know. She just passed out. The search is on for the next American Idol.
It's a no for me.
Between the two of us, girls, you know I love you more. It took me by surprise, I must say, when I found out yesterday. Don't you know that I heard it through the grapevine? I'm Ron.
Nice to meet you.
All right, so that's Lucy Love.
I'm trying to figure out what that reaction means.
Right, were they loving it?
Does that mean she loves it?
I guess. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. From Arkansas, right, by the way, singing her heart out. So yeah, she did get a ticket to Hollywood, so I guess they liked her. Okay. Season 21 kicked off. So you got judges Luke Bryan, Katy Perry, Lionel Richie. If you missed the premiere, you can watch it today on Hulu.
It's streaming.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay, it's back.
It is, again. Taking another giant step closer to the Oscars, A-listers were across the pond for the British Academy Film Awards.
And because London's calling it, wait, say that again?
Oh, because...
And because London's calling, it wasn't just Hollywood royalty making headlines. Here's ABC's Will Gans.
The BAFTA for Best Love Tap on the backside goes to Prince William and Princess Kate, the latter wearing the same Alexander McQueen gown she wore to the BAFTAs in 2019. A statement on sustainability with $27 earrings from Zara. A theme of money-saving secrets throughout the night.
This is top secret. All show business people use the same Netflix account.
The British Academy of Film and Television Arts Awards hitting all the right notes.
Have faith in you and the things you do.
Elvis leading man Austin Butler taking home Best Actor.
Lastly, I want to thank the Presley family. I cannot thank you guys enough for your love and for sharing with me who Elvis truly was. I hope I've made you proud.
Best Actress going to Cate Blanchett for her performance in Tar.
This really does belong apart to my family. Thank you so much for letting me go, because this was really, it did take a lot, and it took me away from you an enormous lot. An enormous lot. I don't know whatever that means, but yes, that was the state I was in.
The biggest winner of the night, All Quiet on the Western Front. The World War I epic scoring 7 awards, breaking the BAFTA record for most awards won by a film not in English. And sweeping the supporting actor and actress categories, the Banshees of Inisherin actors Kerry Condon and Barry Keoghan, who grew up in the foster care system in Ireland in 13 different homes.
For the kids that are dreaming to be something from the area that I came from, this is for you.
And Dame Helen Mirren leading a special tribute to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II.
Your Majesty, you were our nation's leading star. On behalf of BAFTA, thank you for all that you have done for our film and television industry.
Will Gans, ABC News, New York.
All right, Oscars are around the corner.
Right here, yeah. And shockingly, only one award, Best Editing, for Oscars frontrunner Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. Many saying this could be the tightest, most unpredictable race for Best Picture in years.
Okay, and when we come back, more on a family's unforgettable moment in 90 seconds.
Eyewitness News streaming at 7 continues after a break.
Welcome back. Before we go, we want to share an unforgettable moment for one family.
Yeah.
Over here, let's see it.
Hi.
Whoa.
I'll tell you when the right side is on. Are you happy? Yes!
Okay, 4-year-old Sawyer is hearing his family's voices for the first time after undergoing implant surgery. Mom says it was the biggest smile she's ever seen from him.
Look at that smile.
Oh, so he couldn't hear before and he got implants and now he can hear.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It always brings a tear because it reminds me of the things that we take for granted sometimes.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Yeah.
And the smile. Oh, I love it.
I know. It's great. All right, for Tracy, I forgot my name. I'm Terrell Brown.
And I'm Val Warner. Thanks for watching Eyewitness News at 7 a.m. Tanya's going to have a news update in just a second. There will be weather and traffic check-ins. We'll hear from them in a bit. But for all of us here at ABC7, have a great day. We'll see.
Now, an update from ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Good morning. It is 7:56. I'm Tanya Babich. Breaking overnight, a woman is dead after crashing into the front porch of a house on Chicago's northwest side. Police say the 30-year-old was speeding and lost control, hitting the wooden porch on the 6300 block of West Bryn Mawr in Norwood Park. A resident in the house says she was watching TV when she heard and she felt the impact. The resident was not hurt and the driver has not been identified. Checking on your roads now on this President's Day, we're going to go to video from southbound I-65 just past US 231. This is in northwest Indiana. Look at that right lane there. It is still blocked with that earlier rolled over semi truck. What you're seeing on the ground there and what those crews are collecting is mail. All that mail spilling out into the ditch there. Crews are here trying to get it cleaned up, and it could take several hours. They're estimating it should be picked up by about 10:30 this morning. Tracy will have your Monday forecast coming up next.
Good morning, and it is a pretty good morning around Chicago. Temperatures, however, still many of them at or slightly below freezing, although it is 34 at Midway and Gary, even in Valparaiso. Mix of clouds and sun awaits us here today. Those temperatures this afternoon will top out in the mid to upper 40s. As for tomorrow, it will be a colder day than today, with those high temperatures tomorrow headed for the mid to upper 30s. Wednesday is the day we're monitoring very closely. No advisories of any sort just yet, but could get a wintry mix of precipitation here Wednesday.